Machiavelli production. Skirt, skirt, that, broad skirt, tat, that, Brahma bull, rampant, slender, that's admired. Machismo's ignited, punk waddles inspired. Rat, tat, rip that shit quick, pause that shit, they riff on fleek. Lil Chad's voice, spitting that tea, unless your name is Steve, call us for free. On the real, that dude's starting to scare me. MADePAP, MADePAP. Oh, an imp is here somewhere.
And we are live. What's Gucci, my ninjas? I'm me, they're them, we're us, and we are the YouTube equivalent to Braille, because when we speak, people feel us when we speak.
Well, I wasn't going to say when we speak because you preempted
I know
when
what I
we
did.
speak with people feel us. We could have got this right if somebody would have showed up on time.
Cool. I came in, y'all watching YouTube video, not YouTube, like TikToks and shit.
Okay, it was actually on X, but yeah,
Anyway, let me-
the social media place you didn't name.
Let me say hey to the people. Josh Hammond's here. What's Gucci, you gimps? Yep. Soul Sest and Soul Shark Week is on Mad's channel this year. So for those that don't know, it's actually the anniversary of Jaws.
Oh yeah.
The
So-
50-year anniversary, isn't it?
Exactly. And
Right
this was all on purpose and not a coincidence.
Well, I mean, it's the 50th anniversary year. The official release date was a couple weeks earlier, but you're in the spirit of
Fucking
it.
Christ. I got
Way to
to
ruin it, Chad.
specifically about that kind of crap.
So
Can we
is
move
this going
him-
to be about actual sharks? Because I was excited about the San Jose
Hey,
Sharks and the New Jersey Devils.
Mm.
Thought we had finally converted you to hockey.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Okay, well,
The only hockey that will ever be on this channel is if a Finian played it in Canada while losing territory for the United States.
all
Didn't
right.
that happen last year? I remember watching a hockey game not unlike that.
The Four Nations.
Yes, we were greatly shamed.
Were we?
We
I
were.
thought we won.
No, we didn't fucking
no.
win. We
The
lost
World
in overtime.
Championships, We
No,
lost
the-
the Four Nations.
The Finians on the U.S. hockey
Oh.
team gave it up to Canada, like they always do.
Yep.
Oh. So I had replaced the sports talk with horoscopes from Mother Russia.
Oh yeah.
Those were
But if y'all
good
want to keep talking
horoscopes.
hockey,
No, I want to hear my horoscope.
okay. Well, so last time, since we just went through all of them eventually because people are like, but I'm a this and I'm a that. I'm just gonna go through all of them. So we're gonna start with Aries. Is that right? Aries is how you say it.
Yes.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
is the
where my
God of War.
Aries at?
You got a war for the Greeks? Come on.
There may be attempts to accuse homeless people of witchcraft. Don't be afraid to have mistresses in trams and in trolley buses. It is recommended to wear a new bra to participate in the parade in honor of Lenin's birthday. The horoscope advises you to spend nights with Krishkan Karp. I don't know what that is. Horoscopes. Horoscopes. I said it.
Horoscopes. That's what
Horse
Love,
scopes.
Lovey Sherry thinks that's how
Speaking
you
of horrors,
That's when you read the smegma.
She says, "Ha, I'm not wearing any."
That would be about the
Okay.
bra, I'm assuming.
well, no, you.
Also,
I
she's
would not. I'm
being
not
sne-
wearing one.
She's being sneaky because I was in the chat earlier and she had a different avatar up, not this one.
Yeah, I don't care for this. Taurus. We got a couple Taurus on the.
Well, you're gonna have to. Brahma shames
Taurus?
her if she ever changes. it.
Taurus.
Yeah, we have a couple Taurus on the panel, don't we?
Would it be Taurus?
Yep. Tarsus.
Yeah, Tauruses are Brahma and Punk.
Nope.
Brahma is Virgo.
I am
okay.
a punk, and I am a Taurus, but
Well, fuck it, y'all can figure it out. Taurus,
I'm a Taurus.
you should behave like crocodiles. It is recommended to wear a chastity belt with a bow attached to it.
is
You
this
can
only for women? Like,
Are these horoscopes for Russians visiting Ukraine? Like,
I gotta go get my chastity belt. Hold on.
You can try to break your brain and hope that it will help you achieve happiness. In the evening, dancing with the balalakalak, that's a thing again, may begin.
Balaclava.
Yeah. No, remember we wanted this last time. It's balalaka.
is this
Yeah.
the banana splits?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
There is a
Bananas
chance to become fat.
Always.
I took that chance years ago.
Gemini. We got any Geminis?
I may live with one. But
Okay,
yeah,
well, maybe there'll be one. Yeah, that's what I said. 11 Alpha, balalaka.
Balalaika.
Yeah.
Balalaika?
let
yeah.
me hear what the Gemini is, one, so I can be aware
Okay.
of what I have to watch out for in my.
There's an opportunity to take place. I'm sorry. There is an opportunity to take part in a competition for the best hussar. Hussar.
Yeah, a Hussar. That would be
Hussar.
like a Russian cavalry.
Oh, okay.
Polish. It's
is that what
Polish.
Huzzah is short
Polish.
for?
In the first half of the
There's
day,
a whole song about it. The Winged Hussars.
in the
Imp
first
knows
half,
what I'm talking about.
in the first half of the day, a gypsy virgin may move into you.
Is little Chad a gypsy virgin?
Oh no, little Chad.
Today, you have a good chance to break the Guinness record for copulation with axes. Do
don't
not
know.
allow the flow of saliva. All right.
I'm gonna have to ask some questions to the Gemini I live with to make sure this didn't happen.
So
You
Cancer.
Probably have a talk there. Yeah.
Any cancers on the?
me.
I don't.
Oh boy, you hear that? Me.
Working
Sounds
on
like
it.
you're dying of it. Today you may find
Wow.
that your today you may find that your navel has started to smell like raw fish.
What the?
In the navel. Wait, what?
You are in. Okay, he's already down there. You are in for the conquest of Athens. Nice. It is
That sounds like him.
it is advisable to go outside and shout loudly, "Citizens, passengers, forest dwellers, hares." If you need to
Heirs
do
or
some
heirs?
hares like rabbits.
Okay.
If you need to do something, try biting off your finger. And for the best sign of all signs, Leo, your genitals will grow like a deer's.
Okay. I checked just to be sure. Safety's still working. I was unable to bite my own finger off.
Well, that was only for cancers.
Yeah.
I
If you're in a
I thought that was what you as a Cancer were supposed to tell the citizens and the hares.
oh no, that ended. That's all you had. You could just go
You're
outside and
just
you could
supposed
say
to
that.
announce to them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets moved on. Back to Leo. If you're in a bad mood, try grabbing yourself by the hair and throwing it out the window. It is quite possible that you will have to buy yourself a new ass. if you need to,
Like the beast of burden, or literally
like an
your ass.
I don't know. It just says a new ass. Maybe a
Okay.
donkey. If you need to, you can start acting like a dick. So fuck you all.
Isn't,
like
that
Matt
sounds like
already
that's your
read
horoscope
his.
every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's really nailing that horoscope, showing up right
Virgo.
at start.
Any
All right, here
Virgos
we
out
go,
there?
Virgo.
Where my
You got-
Virgos at?
You got two of us right on the panel.
All right. Today, you're better off dealing with horses than with people. That's
Sounds
actually
right.
that's the most sound advice we've had yet. I'm sure it's gonna stick with that. The best
Oh,
time to
Sherry's
pin,
on the team too. There you go.
the best time to pin yourself against the wall and find the strength to rip your shirt off.
Already done.
Pin yourself against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
You need to behave like a maniac in the forest.
Yep.
The stars advise you to behave like an ordinary collective farm watchman.
These are sound
So a
sound
scarecrow?
things to act on right here.
Libra, If you're bored, start eating peat. P-E-A-T.
Mhm.
You
Like
may get
the
a
moss.
license. You may get a license to operate a microwave. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, scotch in a microwave.
The best time to sell your soul to the devil for a bag of nails.
Okay.
Use any opportunity to be put to sleep. Be careful, your brain may become mushroom. Scorpio. Hope these people don't exist in our chat. You may want to buy yourself a new face and become a cowboy.
That's
I
what Nicolas Cage
think
did,
there
right?
might be a Scorpio who calls in and threatens Imp from time to time.
It could be, yeah.
And
It
he's
is
trying
better-
to get himself a new face, and I think it might be Imp's.
Well, always welcome to try.
It is better to start acting like a normal Soviet dolphin right now.
Soviets had dolphins?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
do you know it's a Soviet dolphin?
Trained dolphins with laser beams.
Well, instead of going ee, they go like v. I don't know.
Comrade.
I didn't think that one out before I started it. It is.
Oh, am I a bad influence?
No. It is advisable to find a couple of bottles of rum. It is possible that you will become a vampire lover. Not even a vampire, just the lover of a vampire. It is up to you to go to bed or not.
Yes.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
No, Virgo, it's not up to
Sagittarius.
you to go to bed or not. It's very much up to your wife.
Do various social things. For example, act like an old angry dog. You know, one of those social things we all do sometimes. Remember that most people on Earth are idiots. Based.
True.
Yep.
Mhm.
In addition, you may develop a habit of jumping off a stool and masturbating at the same time.
Now I want to try it.
That's highly coordinated.
Something I've never attempted, but
I'm pretty sure that's how the dude from Kung Fu died.
it sounds exciting.
What was his name?
Is the stool right side up?
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
I would
God,
hope
Brahma.
so. Ow.
Capricorn.
Ooh, oh, ooh.
Today you can become someone like LSD. Be careful. You can be bitten by a goose. It is recommended to sprinkle yourself with flour. If you're not in the mood, try to pretend that you are a crab.
All of
Is
these
this
things
made by
seem like they
aliens?
stem from the LSD.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say one was
I think
supposed
these
to be a
horoscopes
crab.
may be made by aliens to convince us to make ourselves tastier.
In the evening, you will have a surprise. For example, your brain may turn into jelly.
Also LSD.
Which the aliens will then scoop out of your skull and eat as a delicacy.
Forgot
Like
there's
monkey
two more.
brains.
All right. I did not write these. These are real Russian things. Aquarius. This day is ideal
Aquarius.
for... Okay, Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Just a couple more weeks, guys, and I'll get these. Aquarius.
Sure you will.
This day is ideal for meditating on sausages. Today,
Mm.
you may have brilliant ideas for changing the shape of the anus.
Sausage party?
Like putting a square peg in a round hole? What?
The
Changing
stars,
the sausage and getting it near the anus.
the stars advise you to behave like a pug in a horror museum.
They like behaving like dogs, huh?
Yeah. Be careful.
Is there like different ways of behaving
Oh.
based on location?
Oh, you conservatives are gonna like this part. Be careful when choosing porn sites. They can deprive you of your mind.
That
sounds
sounds
about
like a
right.
direct call out of a specific porn site.
Pisces. Today,
Like, I guess that should be aimed at the Tate brothers.
Pisces. Today, your mind will be tuned like a slug. You should.
That horoscope sounds fishy.
Oh boy. You should behave. I'm sorry. You should be.
Punk, that one was for you.
You should be aware of vampires, gnomes, and beetroot screams.
You should always be aware of gnomes. Those guys
And
can't
Hold
be
on,
trusted.
beetroots scream.
Yeah. The screams of beetroots.
Have
Is
you
this
not
like
heard
that
the-
Harry Potter thing where if you pull it out of the ground, it just screams
The
horrendous?
screaming mandrake.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
What was that? Oh, screams. There you go. You can join a sect of lunatics who protect themselves from diarrhea. It's it's time. It's time to buy yourself a horse.
Wait. A sack of lunatics?
A sack.
A
A
sec.
sect.
A sect.
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 Oh.
Okay. I thought you said a sack of lunatics.
No,
No.
he did say sack.
I said
But
sec.
sooner or later, you learn how to
Sect.
translate mad.
Don't listen to
Yeah.
what I say. Feel what I mean.
Whoa.
You know what's funny? I think these
I don't know if I want
horoscopes
to
are
feel
written.
what you mean.
These
I'm
horoscopes
scared.
seemed like they were written by a previous featured story on MADePAP with our assassin, presidential assassin. What was his name? The one.
Oh, Gatu?
Gatu, yeah, because it
Oh, I
sounds
thought
like,
these might have been written by the sex dolphin.
Last bit for Pisces. It's time to buy yourself a horse. Check if your mouth is rubber. That's important. I think that goes across the board. Wait.
I don't want to know what he's supposed to do with the horse if you got to check your mouth for rubber.
Anyway, well, there's your daily horoscopes.
Can you unhinge your jaw?
Let's see.
well,
let's see.
no, we said diversity, equity, and inclusion, not diversity, equine inclusion.
Well,
I heard that.
You know, you
Mad.
should be sad that Punkwaddle laughed at your joke, Chad.
I think my goal for tonight is to just out punk waddle when it
'Cause
comes to the bad.
I wasn't
jokes.
paying
I
attention.
got the
That's-
joke, but I wasn't gonna laugh at it.
We got a busy night for mailbag. So
Mailbag.
now, if you
Mailbag.
want to be a part of mailbag, you can email us at madcheesemail@gmail.com, or you can call and leave a voicemail at 726-610-5357. I say again, 726-610-5357. Check with your local carrier to see if there are additional charges may apply for your data.
Also, did you know that Mad can get tips? There's
I
a
can get
pinned-
tips.
There
It's
should be
pinned.
a pinned comment with a link where you can tip Mad, and if you tip him very well, he might call it $1.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then he'll
That's not
set
gonna-
some kind of stretch goal where he's like, "Hey, if we make $20, I'll share this picture with you. Don't donate any money. He'll share it anyway."
Man, I got a trip coming up. Donate money. All right, mailbag.
Although the mailbag's lit tonight, voices from the void out of sight. We'll reply to your DMs and your calls. Let's see what's up in these digital halls. As the night plays, the groove still here. Your voices linger crystal clear. So keep sliding, keep dialing through. This is our mailbag groove where dreams come true.
All right. First email. Dear MADePAP, that's us. What's up with the fact checking? I want a good story, not some BS like, actually, my penis is 5 inches, not 10. I mean, damn. She won't know the difference if the lights are off. Don't think that's how that works.
Where's Mad going? Thailand? Yeah.
All right. Next email. Can we get some Canadian stories? We have a lot of great heroes that people should know. Let's hear about the Canuck who discovered maple syrup.
You don't?
Or how we have superior bacon. That's right. I said it.
No, you have ham.
Yeah, we call it ham here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
When I read that, I was like, you know what? We should ban that. You know what I mean?
and
if-
we clearly have the superior ham because we have Virginia honey baked ham.
That is
which
true.
is far greater than that flaccid Canadian ham, bacon, whatever they want to call
Somebody's
it.
taking this very personally.
I don't like Canadian. I don't
No
like
one likes
Canadian
Canadian bacon.
I think
Canadian
it's a
bacon
stupid
is-
breakfast meat.
is ham.
It's ham. That's
I
true.
remember when I was a wee lad, right? And I'm ordering off the menu at the diner, and it said there was Canadian bacon, and I didn't know that Canadian bacon wasn't bacon, so I thought I was gonna get bacon.
gross.
And they put ham on my plate, and I was like, "Where's the bacon?"
No, I'm going to a sleepover with my bros, Quarter Black and Alex Stein.
That doesn't sound that dissimilar from a trip to Thailand and how it would end up.
True,
Yeah,
we are going to be
that-
braiding his hair.
But by the way, America is so awesome that when we saw that Canadian bacon was stupid, we're like, we're going to invent maple bacon to give you an idea of what real Canadian bacon could have been
Boy,
and
that-
do it better.
That Canadian boy, Zach's really hit a nerve on that one, huh?
Canadian bacon is stupid. It's lunch meat. It's like going and getting a
Oh my
deli
God.
sandwich cut of ham and then making it for breakfast.
I
Instead of
hope
sausage.
someone's making a
when-
note of one of
When I
Lil
ask for a
Chat's
BLT,
triggers.
okay, I don't want a slice of ham on my sandwich. I want bacon.
Crispy, thick cut bacon.
Bacon or
Yes.
sausage are the acceptable breakfast meats, not like
Agreed.
thin
Like,
sliced sandwich ham.
no. No, like
So you really got a problem with chicken and waffles then, huh?
Oh boy.
Yeah, not a fan.
Or
Or
steak.
Oh, I
steak
like
and
chicken
eggs.
and waffles.
Chicken and
That's
waffles
just
isn't a
good.
breakfast. That's good for like
Yeah,
dinner.
anything. You ever been to Roscoe's? Man, legit. Anyway, next email. When are you gonna have a guest on? What? You're too cool to have Quarter Black or Nerdrotic on your show? Get over yourself. Oh, and is there somewhere I can send my panties to Punk? He's adorable. Okay.
Was that Steve?
Matt,
I
I
you wanna
mean,
read
I
this
don't
one?
have a PO box yet, but
I'll tell you right now, if Quarter Black or Nerdrotic had agreed to guest on this show, I'm guessing the rest of us wouldn't get invited back every week. So he's stuck with us for the time being.
George was supposed to be on.
Oh yeah. Well, I tried. He asked. I tried.
Hold on. Did you?
Yeah, kinda. Anyway, next email.
Oh wow, story's changing already.
Who'd
was that last email signed by anybody, or should I just not ask?
I've been like keeping their names off of it. Some people don't add names, some people do. Like
All right,
the Canadian guy was Zach's, but I didn't want to just like blow him up like that.
No,
Punk
no,
just
no.
wants to know which guy's panties he's expecting.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, why do you assume it's a guy?
So he can explain it to Sugar Waddle when they arrive. Like, hey, I didn't ask for these.
I didn't ask.
I have fans.
I didn't
does it
ask,
have a
but I
pouch in
didn't
the
send.
front?
But I'm not sending them back either.
Next email. Who the hell picks these stories? There's no themes. And it seems like it's just whatever random ass story pops in your head at the day of the show. I want a 5-part deep dive into those titties. For real, for real.
Have you met Matt?
To
I feel like whoever wrote this is new to the show.
to peel back the curtain, he pretty much did nail the exact scenario on how it gets in the terms of the story selection.
That's not true. I have
Sometimes Mad will send me ones, and then an hour before the show, it'll be nope. This is the one for tonight.
because I think it's in
Changed
the
my
book.
mind.
Change it.
Last email. Oh boy. How is Mad more gay on his straight channel? Homeboy gonna turn a bit into a lifestyle.
Yep.
Correct response.
He is going to a sleepover.
Yeah, you're gonna at your house.
The last time you were at Brahma's house, he was penetrated.
In
All right.
front of
Clearly,
you.
you're not gonna
Aggressively.
braid Brahma's hair.
Hey Andy. All right, so we do have a voicemail as well. Man, it was a busy time in the mailbag today. Let's see what's up with this. Let's see what's happening in the digital halls.
Hey, MADePAP crew. You know, I just want to let you know I've been really enjoying your shows. And, I mean, these stories seem to be, you know, like that, with that guy with 2 guns and then talking about the Willie D. Like all the things that Hollywood based their movies on. And, you know, I was hoping.
Punk, let me ask you.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Since we talked about the Willie D last week, maybe we could talk about the Billy D. Williams and, you know, when he made that Kessel run back before Star Wars was. I'd like to hear about that story too, and, you know, maybe the truth behind that science fiction. Well,
Wait, the truth behind that science
I'm looking
fiction?
forward to that show, all you MADePAP people, and well, I
Did
can't
he
wait.
just call them MADePAP people?
That guy's weird.
It happens
Yeah.
as you get older, Slender. Your hormones get imbalanced.
You go through MADePAP?
and you go through
Yeah.
MADePAP. You start taking an inordinate amount of time when you say you're 5 minutes from doing something. You take
No, I don't
naps
like
at random
Oh, you
times.
take a little summer too?
Summer
Yeah.
twos.
You're like, I'm just gonna take a little break, and then you take a nap for 18 hours.
Last
Yeah.
email. By the way, guys,
Yeah, I'm totally going to be on the show tonight. I fell asleep.
we have
Yeah, hot
we have
flashes.
a last minute email that just came in. Guys, y'all got to get them in quicker. If the Sandman sprinkles sand in your eye at night, does the Dick Cheese Man? What the fuck? Does
Yes.
the dick cheese
Yes,
man
I don't
smear
even need to hear
cheese
the rest.
under your
Yes.
foreskin at night? Gross.
I'm guessing that was from the lovely Sherry.
How do you ban people from Gmail?
You block the email address.
Mr. Smegman,
Gross.
bring me some cheese. Make
And when
it
you
the
get-
Gouda that I didn't need.
Man, if
Well,
you have
hey,
You get up in the
mature,
morning and take the piss. It's one of those where it's like the split stream.
anyway, if you have a mature
Your
question,
hand slides off of it. Oh, damn it. I can't get a grip.
see what you've done.
Stop
out
giving
of
Matt
control.
ideas about what's going to happen after his sleepover.
If you have a mature question, comment, or concern,
Yeah.
then
a
you can email us
well-aged-
at madcheesemo at
If you have any of those things,
gmail.com.
this show is not for you.
Yeah,
Mad-
a well-aged mad cheese. No, none of this.
Matt, do you have a special pillow you can bring to your sleepover to make sure you won't be sore the next morning?
Oh, I should bring my well, what do they call those maternity
Remember?
pillows that like wrap around your entire body?
Oh, my gosh.
I don't
The
have one,
boppy?
but
The baby boppies?
no, it's a
White
pillow
one?
for pregnant women.
No,
Body
the ones
pillow?
for it's the there is a pillow for when you're breastfeeding that wraps.
No, that's not
around-
what I'm talking about.
it wraps
Boyfriend
around
arm
them.
pillow.
No, not a snuggie. That's not even a pillow. Anyway, if you have a
Wow.
mature, reasonable, legitimate question,
Then what the hell are you doing here?
at madcheesemo at gmail.com. Or if you want to call, maybe try doing a different voice. You can call us at 726-610-5357.
Who
You know-
could that ever be?
Yeah, what are you talking about? A different voice.
I like how he's gotten so big time that he was just begging for anybody to email 2 weeks ago, and now he's putting like terms on it. Hey, it needs to be this or this or this. None
It's
of this
getting out of control.
freestyle.
Maybe you should
Sherry
be like.
has ruined
Maybe you
it.
should be like Gwen Stefani and screen your phone calls.
I
What's
get
already
the
at the
reference, but
bottom,
I'm not
I mean.
acknowledging it.
No, what's the reference to what?
It was
Gwen
a
Stefani,
no doubt song.
spider webs. I'm walking through the spider webs.
You know,
leave a
I-
message and I'll call you back.
I think a more applicable no doubt song for you would be Don't Speak.
I know what you're
I know
saying.
what you're
Ooh.
thinking, so please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it
'Cause
hurts.
hurts.
All your jokes really hurt. Don't speak.
Call sex dolls.
Punk ain't no hollaback girl.
That's
You
what
gotta
I
watch out
said.
for.
Yeah,
Send me
I'm not
maternity pillow.
BANANAS.
I'm gonna move you up just because I'm gonna need to move you down later.
Preemptive movement.
All right.
You need to make a ticket with StreamYards. I need to be able to move someone down below spaces that aren't even in the show.
Can I add a third row without enough people to fill a third row?
I know I can have up to 10 people on the stream. Can I have the 10 slots available to keep moving someone down?
Can you guys let me use bots for at least 4 spots?
Oh, that's actually a good idea. I was like, how can I add that?
Actually,
Anyway.
we all could just share a screen and you could put them on the screen.
All right, Chad, you ready for tonight's story? We're going to be talking about when the Sharks vacay in New Jersey.
Yep. A lot of people think of Snooki when they hear the Jersey Shore, but in reality, it's the inspiration for Jaws, because, which, by the way,
of Jay
50th
Wow.
anniversary. Yay. Good timing, Mad.
Yep, of course. Wasn't a coincidence.
Totally
So-
planned.
Totally planned.
We're going to take you back to 1916 when the Jersey Shore was a thriving summer resort.
Wait, I'm sorry.
area.
I'm sorry. I fucked up because I was doing the going back in time sound.
Wayne's
What
World.
year?
1916.
1916. Got it.
Yep. At the time, the Jersey Shore was a thriving summer resort area, easily accessible from New York City or Philadelphia. It had large hotels, vacation homes, yacht and tennis clubs, resorts.
So it
dotted-
was like the place that the worst of both worlds would congregate?
No, it was an upper echelon. like,
New
place
York
at the
City
time.
and Philadelphia? Why would anyone want to run into people from New York City or
Oh, yeah,
Philadelphia?
This was before the Italian takeover.
I was gonna say professional
Ah.
courtesy.
So
This is when the Fenians were running.
I think no, Snooki get that smush with the sharks.
oh,
And this is
So-
before, a couple years before Trump did his Jersey thing, right?
A couple years,
Slightly.
yeah.
Yeah, just a couple.
well, if only Trump was around, because then they would be eating the sharks and eating the fish. It's crazy.
Shark's not very good.
I've never had shark.
Resorts were dotted places like Spring Lake, Island Heights, and Beach Haven. Presidents, going back to Ulysses Grant, James Garfield owned summer homes in Long Branch. And in the late spring of 1916, President Woodrow Wilson, one of the worst presidents in the history of the country, decided to move the summer White House.
That sounded like a
executive
personal
offices.
opinion. Was that written?
It's not written, but it's a fact.
It's written on the soul of America.
It's written in history.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. He decided to move the summer White House executive offices to his mansion there. 'cause
Wait,
he-
who did this?
Woodrow Wilson. He lived
Oh,
in
okay,
New
he can
Jersey
get away
before
with
he
it,
was
I guess.
president. He was one of the presidents who got elected because a third party split the vote, much like Bill Clinton. Yeah, because at the time in 1916, sharks were actually not considered dangerous. In 1891,
Such a white
million-
opinion.
a millionaire had even offered $500 to anyone who could prove a shark had bitten a human. So confident was he that sharks were harmless. He in
Dude, have
fact,
you
Wait,
seen
how-
sharks?
How much is 500?
this was in 1891, so
Like, how do you look at one of those things and not immediately conclude that it's fucking dangerous?
Because they're
Obviously an
adorable.
herbivore.
Yeah.
So $500, 1891
Uh-huh.
was the equivalent of $17,000 he offered someone to
Jesus.
prove that sharks were dangerous.
I'd let it. I mean, I'd let a baby shark like take a chunk.
I was gonna say, at that point,
baby
I might
shark?
just chum the water and put my foot in there.
I mean,
Baby
tell that to
shark.
Blake Lively in that movie, right?
The Shallows.
Movies aren't real, punk.
Blake
They're movies.
Lively's not real either. She's a cunt.
They were more like pets.
Wow, we're getting a lot of hot takes from Chad tonight.
I'm hoping. I mean, I might get subpoenaed in the lawsuit. Apparently, if you say things like that on social media.
Gotta take a few days off work. I'm getting subpoenaed. For
Chad's trying to pump up the views.
I mean, if we cover the Lively trial, we'd probably have 100,000 subs on Mad's channel already. You could finally beat Culture Casino's
Damn.
7th channel.
Damn, Blake was a 5 before the surgery.
Oh yeah, her nose was jacked before they cleaned that up.
Oy.
And
She have a
Alright.
Druish nose.
I don't know. It was not attractive. It did look a lot like the Spaceballs. All right. So the same millionaire
Now
once
I'm
jumped.
She already
looking up
had
her
a nose
nose.
job. It was for her sweet 16 birthday.
We're
No,
gonna
we're
give her
going to
that.
undo the nose job.
All right. Yeah. And after the surgeries, Blake went from a 5 to a 6.3. So good for her. So the same millionaire once jumped into the water with a shark during a party to prove that sharks were not hostile to humans. The shark simply swam away. I don't know if that was the most scientific way to do it.
I
but
mean,
whatever.
seemed like that shark was a bitch.
Yeah, but this view
Maybe,
was actually
maybe
shared.
he just smelled really bad to sharks.
So many scientists of the day also agreed with the millionaire, believing sharks posed no threat to humans, and reports of shark attacks were often dismissed as exaggerated fishermen's tales along the lines of mermaids.
Ah, science. Always reliable.
Meanwhile, we grew up
Next,
with
you're going to
Batman
tell
the
me
movie.
mermaids don't exist.
We grew up with Adam West Batman, so we know that you need shark repellent.
Who is we?
All of
Well,
us.
it was.
I
on
Wait,
did
did
not
I
grow
television,
up
yeah.
with
I
Adam
remember
West
Adam
Batman.
West
It
Batman.
had already come out. It was on TV all the time.
I had that
Robin,
thing on
get me the
VHS.
shark
Syndicated for
repellent
like 20
bat
years.
spray.
Yeah.
Brahma, tell us about what it was like listening to the Superman radio show.
Well, why
I'm
was
gonna
it all
make
the?
you listen to it next week.
Hey Brahma, also, why did all the old radio people have that weird voice? Because like, and then it suddenly disappeared.
Well, actually, so you know the dude that was like, "Oh, the humanity." That's not how he actually sounded. It was sped up. So if you can actually find the original thing, and he's just like, "Oh, the
He
humanity."
sounds like Chad.
Also,
Yep.
part
I
I
part of
thought
the
he would
reason that
sounds
they
like Imp about it.
Yeah.
part of the reason they sounded like that back then was the way they modulated the radio signals.
Yeah, that's
Not
Yeah.
everybody sounded that way back then.
nope. Boom, science. That's real science.
That has no place on this show.
Sorry.
No place.
It does when you start talking about RF.
Her nose was jacked.
You looked it up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's a wonder that there's no proof that her Lively and Herd
The
aren't
shark
related
that
in
Slender is
some way.
riding looks like Blake Lively.
Punk, I want you to thank Chad for stepping over you. Because technically I can't move you down, but based on what I did here,
But I want to. I want to really bad.
Oh, he could say things to get ratings, but I say things to get ratings, and you know it's salacious. Okay.
what are you talking about?
Salacious.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in April
You're-
1916, go ahead. All right.
Oh, nothing. Go on.
No, you had something valuable
No,
and
no,
informative
no,
to
no.
say.
No, you're like the Kincaid of this show. You know, you're the Rob Bell of MADePAP. Nobody knows who Rob Bell is.
I don't
Nope.
understand.
I
All right,
do.
then.
Wait.
He's a very non-offensive like preacher. He wrote.
Yeah,
like,
I know
Love
exactly
Wins.
who he is.
Yeah,
Velvet
yeah.
Elvis.
Are you
Now you
saying
get
Punk
it.
Waddle is running prosperity?
Velvet
gospel?
I
Elvis
am
is
not
another one of
going
his.
on Oprah and speaking my own, teaching about my own personal Jesus, nor am I Dr. Phil. Come on, man.
Someone
You
who
are in
cares
no
more
way
press.
Marilyn Manson.
Someone who cares. It's not Marilyn Manson. It's Gravity Kills. Fuck Marilyn Manson. He ripped that off.
Yeah, and he also ripped out his own.
Allegedly.
Don't talk about the guy from Wonder Years that way.
Or his removed ribs.
Well, that's what.
That's something that has pissed me off for years. Everybody thinks Marilyn Manson did a remake of Personal Jesus in metal. It's so awesome. And it's like, yeah, so did Gravity Kills 5 years before Marilyn Manson did.
Who the
And
fuck
Johnny
is Gravity
Cash's version
Kills?
is still
A
better.
better
Kills.
band.
Gravity Kills did Guilty from the movie Seven.
I thought it was Nine Inch Nails.
I hate you.
I want to feel you from the inside. Remember?
So in April 1916, the Brooklyn Museum of Science issued a bulletin noting that little was known about sharks as no comprehensive study had been conducted, and Dr. Frederick Lucas, the director of the American Museum of Natural History, located in New York City, stated, "One of the commonest statements is that the shark bit off the man's leg as though it were a carrot. Certainly no shark caught off of New Jersey could possibly perform such an act." These are known as famous
at least
last
there's
words.
there's a caveat there of none of the New Jersey sharks could do this. At least it allows the possibility of a super shark somewhere out in the.
This
An
guy should have
illegal
known
immigrant
better.
shark.
Yeah, this guy should have known better, though. You know, when you talk that way about people and animals from New Jersey, they take it as a personal,
True.
you know, like, I've got to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do Action Park next time.
Yeah. So he said it further. Moreover, a shark is not particularly strong in the jaws. This is, by the way, of the director of the American History Museum.
This is just one of those morons who's like, I could take a shark.
It seemed like everyone thought this.
But if
He
you do
cited
shark,
he cited an observation of a 12-foot shark struggling to eat a week-old tender sea lion. Like, number one, how did we know it was tender?
How do we know it's
Two,
12 feet?
Yeah, like, I mean, a 12-foot shark should be crushing that kind of stuff. Maybe it was just taking his time. Anyway, reinforcing the belief that sharks were not a threat to humans. The millionaire stunt of swimming with a shark was even cited as scientific evidence.
Fucking science, man. Love it.
On
rich
July
people, science.
This would all change on July 1st, 1916, as 23-year-old Charles Van Sant was at the Beach Haven Resort with his family. Before dinner, he decided to swim in the ocean having played with a large dog on the beach beforehand. When he began screaming, bystanders initially thought he was playing with the dog.
Oh, listen to Steven playing with his dog.
His
Being eaten alive. Oh,
his sister later recounted, and I quote, "Everybody was horrified to see my brother splashing about in the water as though struggling with a monster under the surface. He fought desperately, and as we rushed towards him, we could see great quantities of blood."
And then he was like, no, somebody get a camera. We got to prove this happened so I can get $500.
Lifeguard Alexander Ott, a friend of Charles, said, "I saw a big shark still biting him. Charles was swimming in a pool of his own blood. When he got up onto the beach, I saw that his leg was badly injured and blood was pumping onto the sand."
I caught that too, Sherry.
A woman nearby tore her bathing suit skirt to make a tourniquet. The flesh on the back of Charles' left thigh.
by the
was
way,
stripped-
hold up real quick. 1916. You know, everyone stopped like, "My God, lady, have some dignity."
No, I mean her
What's
skirt
wrong?
would have been all the way down to her ankle. She had
Oh,
plenty of
solid.
fabric.
I mean,
to
it's
do-
true. Like what they had like the whole body suits and the whole full coverage, so they had a lot of excess. It's not like 3 inches.
Sorry. Nobody move for the next 3 minutes so we can get this photo.
Even
No
the
smiling.
So, the flesh on on the back of Charles' left thigh was stripped from his hip to his knee, exposing the bone, and he had a large gash on his other leg.
Keep the dog away, am I right? He sees that
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
Could a
This is-
shark possibly do that with its weak, flaccid jaw?
Witnesses
pee on it?
described seeing a black 9-foot shark with a large dorsal fin holding onto Charles' leg in just 18 inches of water.
Did he? Wait, he kept the leg?
I think they were saying like while he was grabbing it, taking
Oh,
the chunk
okay.
out.
Sorry, I thought he took it as like a snack for later.
Trophy.
It's like I've got to take it with me to eat later.
Yeah.
I'm full right now, and I'm gonna nosh
Can-
on it.
I
can
gotta
someone-
share this with all the other sharks.
Can somebody make a swan out of tinfoil and I could just
Listen,
Put
we
the
have a
leg in there?
potluck later, and I said I'd bring the meat, so
I didn't care for that asshole saying I couldn't get through a tender baby seal. Well, this leg's much more tender, and I'm taking it with me.
A ship's captain in the area noted he'd never seen a shark like it. Charles would pass away at 6:45 p.m.
Why?
Despite being the first recorded shark attack fatality on the East Coast, the story received little news coverage.
So something that breaks science. Oh man, big shark.
Oh no!
Science.
It didn't break science. It was against the paradigm of the time, and so therefore, got to keep hush hush. It's just one anomaly. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not a concern.
It
right?
was the
yeah, I think we know by now that if something disagrees with science, they just bury it.
it was the lab leak of 1916.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that also, and like how many
Everybody knows
incidents-
that Big Shark is going to protect their interests
Yeah.
no matter what.
Well, that too. Don't get me wrong, but like, how many incidents does it take for anybody to have a recall? Like shark recall? No. It's one defective shark.
They would not report officially on it until Batman invented his shark repellent spray
Yeah.
and Wayne Enterprises was
Yeah,
selling
that show we all grew up with.
Yeah.
All right. So the New York Times buried coverage on page 18 describing Charles as badly bitten in the surf on Saturday afternoon by a fish, presumably a shark.
Oh.
Big fish.
The Pennsylvania Fish Commissioner downplayed the incident.
The
Stating,
what? Say it again.
The Pennsylvania Fish Commissioner downplayed the
Fish
incident.
commissioner.
The
fish
commissioner.
Yeah, stating, "I do not believe there is any reason why people should hesitate to go in swimming at the beaches for fear of man-eaters. The information in regard
Bitch, we're
to
talking
the
sharks,
shark,
not fish. If you want to talk to us about tuna, we'll listen.
Hold on. The
You're the fish
information-
commissioner.
The information in regard to the shark is indefinite, and I hardly believe that Van Sant was attacked by a man-eater. He was in the surf playing
Oh,
with
here she comes.
Hold on, this is the
Watch
best
out, boy. She'll chew you up.
Hold on, hold
This
on.
is the best part. He was in the surf playing with a dog, and maybe a small shark drifted in at high water and was marooned by the tide, being unable to move quickly without food. He came to attack the dog and accidentally bit the man in passing.
There's
my
so many
gosh.
leaps to get to that conclusion.
He further went on and said, "I don't want to see that Kitchener boy fall out when we cut it open."
Also,
Nobody else
what-
gets the Jaws
No.
reference.
I get the Jaws reference.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like. Remember the mayor? It's like, stop talking about the shark that's eating people. We need the tourists for 4th of July weekend.
By the way, what do you think the daily duties of a fish commissioner or commissioner? What do you think he does on a daily?
I have actually a relative who works for a Department of Fish and Wildlife, so they do a lot of.
At this
Stuff.
time, a commissioner.
I mean, that means he's he's the highest in the group right there. He's
This
making
week
sure.
on commissioner.
He's like, look, we got to make sure that there's a shortage of rainbow trout. We got to work on that. We got
On
to
a
work
very
on.
special commissioner.
It was like, we've got a big mouth bass competition coming through here. We got to make sure there's plenty. There's a lot of stuff to do with fish.
I like
Just
how they went
one
from
more thing. Sorry.
I like how they went from sharks don't even bite people to whoa, who said the word man eater? Where did the word man eater just come in?
Yeah. No. He was clearly trying to eat the dog, and they're blind and dumb, so he accidentally bit the guy's leg. Not hard.
If I was like, if like Mad was getting at, if you were the Columbo of the day, you'd be like, just one more thing, Commissioner. It seems
Commissioner.
like you're very aware of man-eating sharks, like this has happened before, and you're trying not to publicize it so much.
I've never heard of such a thing. I've always been upfront. I think that my theory on the listen, I'm the commissioner here. You're just you, guy.
Fish Missioner.
Fish commissioner.
I've noticed that we've had no previous reports of shark attacks, but 27 people just disappear with bite wounds every year on the side at the beach, and you say that it was the result of fish.
When you're playing with your dog in the water, which all of them were, all 27, there are seal, jellyfish, whales, not sharks.
It's like
Rest my
clearly
case.
it was walruses. A random walrus.
Have
was
you ever seen their
responsible.
tusk? Their tusk.
And speaking of the Jaws similarities, with Independence Day approaching, thousands of visitors from the tri-state area were expected to arrive. Sea captains reported large
Commissioner, you got to cover this up. The last thing we need is a scandal.
Yeah, so sea captains reported large schools of sharks off the Jersey coast, prompting Beach Haven to install wire netting 300 feet from the shore along
Why
the beach.
though? No one has
keep
ever been killed by a shark.
Yep. So July 4th passed without incident, but on July 6th, tragedy struck again, this time at Asbury Park. Bellboy Charles Bruder was floating on his back near the Sussex Hotel when a shark approached, its fin visible above the water. A woman nearby mistook the scene for a man in a red canoe overturning, but it was blood.
Oh no.
Bruder screamed, audible 3 blocks away, and leaped from the water, revealing his right leg was gone above the knee.
Wait, why
with-
was there such a delay? Like he didn't notice. He's like, that's weird. My foot doesn't itch.
Phantom pains.
Pretty sure. Well, he was screaming loud enough for it to be heard 3 blocks. I don't think he was delayed very much.
That man in the canoe is screaming.
So blood was squirting out. The shark attacked again, biting off his left foot below the ankle. A nearby boat rescued him, but as he lay dying, he reportedly said, and remember, these are his dying words.
Okay.
As it was taken, this man is bleeding out from one leg bitten off. His other foot's been bitten off.
Yep.
And he has the time to say,
And his canoe was tipped over.
this is the full quote. The shark was a big gray fellow and as rough as sandpaper. I didn't see him
Big
until
gray.
I'd say he's a big great fellow.
Let me
us
get through
answer.
this. Let me get through this whole thing.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
didn't see him
Is
until
this how she described it to the fucking?
No, this is him.
This is his words.
This is him dying, like as he's bleeding
He is
out and
dying.
dying.
And
So
it's
when
like,
the police sketch artist is trying to identify this guy, this is the description.
yeah,
This is what was on the wanted posters.
you gotta catch him before he does it to somebody else. What is
He
he like?
had black eyes like a
Hold on.
doll's
Here,
eyes.
Charles.
Just hand me the pencil. I'll
Charles,
try.
you're gonna bleed out in 30 seconds. Can you tell us anything? And he says, the shark was a big gray fellow and as rough as sandpaper. I didn't see him until after he struck me the first time. He cut me here on the side, and his belly was so rough it bruised my face and arms. That was when I yelled the first time. He took my left leg off, then only turned and shot back at me. That time I thought he had gone, but he bit me just below the knee and he yanked me clear under before he let go. I had hardly reached the surface when he came back at me again. That time he bit me in the side, an awful blow. He shook me like a terrier shakes a rat, but he let
Oh my
go
God, just
while I
die.
was calling, then suddenly struck at me again, and this time took off the other leg. He's a big fellow, and he's awful hungry. He then died.
As he's trailing off, he's a big fellow.
I feel all right. Listen, I don't want to badmouth journalists, but I feel like the dude got there was like, what happened? Oh, he died. Did he say anything? It was a
There
big
was
fellow.
soliloquy.
It was a big fellow, and he did this and that.
A lot
Like,
of
I feel like-
creative liberties taken.
Yeah. And I'm not highlighting that fucking shark fucking joke.
Would you like me to read it?
Sure.
Did you hear about the shark ghost? It vanished into thin air.
I hate how excited you got to read that terrible joke.
Don't know. We're not starting this. Well, wait, is this a joke? I heard Jaws was supposed to star in Titanic, but they got some unknown iceberg instead. Hey, King.
So, with after Charles Bruder died, the hotel manager prioritized attending women who had fainted or vomited over examining his body. On
Fucking
July-
hotel manager.
I mean, he was
July
just a
8th,
bellboy.
Yeah, he was a bellhop, right?
That is how you would think, Mr. Rich Guy. He's just a bellboy. We don't concern ourselves with the state of the help.
What was he even doing in the? I was gonna say the white
Why
people
was
water,
he-
but I doubt he wasn't. I'm not pretty sure he was white.
Why was
too.
he frolicking in the ocean when he was on
Right.
the clock?
He's like he doesn't get to swim in the rich people's part of the ocean. He's like, what? It's like you need to go.
He even has a little hat still on.
We give them that 5 minutes a year where they're allowed into the water.
The hotel manager was like, if we let them start swimming now, in 70 years, there's going to be filthy, dirty girls named Snooky in this water trying to
Smush, mush.
smush with whatever they want.
Oh, maybe they were onto something then. I'm starting to rethink my position on this.
The slippery slope is real. On July 8th, the Philadelphia Evening Public Ledger finally reported on the story on the front page with the shark hunt is on as panic spreads along the New Jersey coast.
Uh-oh.
Motorboat patrols hunt man-eater that killed 2. Beaches are deserted.
Hey, culture.
But at least we got past the July 4th holiday.
So 300 bathers fled the water when a fin was spotted 20 feet beyond the guard poles. Despite the attacks, some like Jonathan Treadwell Nichols, assistant curator of recent fishes for the American Museum of Natural History.
What does that
Man, they got a
mean?
lot of fish officials in this, huh?
Yeah,
What is-
official.
Wait, what is he? The
Something's
recent
fishy.
fish?
He was the assistant curator of recent fishes for the American Museum of Natural History. So that
Does that just mean like the recent fish that they have discovered that they have caught?
Yes.
Historical fish.
Yeah, but
No,
that
when
also-
when new fish arrive, he provides their indoctrination, shows
was
them where
his
they
name?
can go for benefits, etc., etc.
What was
What
his name?
formaldehyde they get stored in?
What was the assistant curator's name?
Jonathan
Fred.
Treadwell Nichols.
Commissioner, we need you to go talk to Nichols. You two got to team
Commissioner?
up together
No,
and
no.
solve this shark.
He's like, no, sir. I am the fish missioner. I don't speak to assistant curators of recent fishes. I want to speak to the curator of recent fishes.
You go high enough, you always come to one guy. One really fishy guy.
I it's like, I'm the
Oh my
fish
God, it's a
missioner of
shark.
Pennsylvania.
That's who's in charge of all the.
So, all right, despite all the evidence available, Jonathan Treadwell Nichols, assistant curator of recent fishes for the American Museum
I
of Natural
can't believe
History.
this is a real fucking title.
That's why I keep saying I looked it up to verify. It was his real title.
Oh my gosh.
This man, the assistant curator of recent fishes, insisted that Bruder's death, in spite of his long soliloquy as he died, was caused by an orca, not a shark.
Oh shit!
I think you would know the difference between an orca and a shark.
You ever seen the movie Orca?
Yeah, man, you don't want to kill
Bro.
an orca's baby and wife,
No.
man. It'll hunt you forever.
Oh, it was a late term abortion on the boat.
And the sounds it made?
I
Ooh.
mean,
Yeah.
Slender, we have people who can't tell the difference between a man and a woman. You think they're going to be able to tell the difference between an orca and a shark?
Yeah, you just have to ask it how it identifies, and you'll know.
I mean, it's 1916 though.
If it tells you I'm an orca, then it's an orca. I don't care if it's gray.
When asked why he believed it was an orca, Jonathan Treadwell Nichols, assistant curator of recent fishes, stated, "It's black and white. Clearly, it's wrong."
Oh boy.
President Woodrow Wilson agreed with him. So
He's what expertise does he have on orcas or sharks?
he said,
He was
said-
trusting the word of the assistant commissioner of new fishes.
he
Also,
said-
why are we
Woodrow
wasting
Wilson
his
said,
time?
and I quote, "I don't trust orcas. They're white and black. They shouldn't intermingle in the water."
It was a different time.
With that in mind, I'm going to segregate the U.S. Army again. So, reporters raised theories because again, nobody believed sharks could do these things. So there were theories raised that it was killer mackerel, murderous sea turtles, or even German.
I'm sorry,
U-boat
hold on.
Murderous
torpedoes.
Hold
sea
on.
turtles.
No. You know, Chad, you say something like that and you can keep going as if we're not going to instantly ping on it.
It's like, yeah, how could it possibly be this giant apex predator killing machine that has rows upon rows of razor sharp teeth that grow back if it loses them, when it could be a malicious pack of violent ninja turtles just swimming around accosting folk in the ocean?
Wait, they're Ninja Turtles?
What the commissioner said, the last thing that he heard was cowabunga.
The fish missioner said, "First we let the Italians in with their pizza, and now we've got angry turtles."
What was the other possible? What else did they blame?
Killer mackerel.
Killer mackerel.
No, for those in the chat that may not know what a mackerel is and is thinking of like the peanut that comes in the mixed nuts, like the big one.
That's a macadamia?
Sure. What is a mackerel? For those in chat
Fish.
that may not know. Yeah, I got it. It's a fish.
It's basically tuna.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
This is a mackerel.
Whoa.
They
I mean,
thought that was taking
Holy
entirely-
mackerel!
that a mackerel was biting a person's leg off below the knee.
I mean, you could have at least gone with like barracuda.
Swordfish.
I might have bought barracuda.
swordfish.
I mean, that's a better song.
And if we put a mackerel, a shark, a sea turtle, and a barracuda in a lineup, I'm definitely picking the mackerel as the most likely suspect.
Of course.
Well, you're forgetting the last option that was floated.
There was
German
another-
German U-boat torpedoes.
Hang on.
Was that actually something that was listed?
Wait, say it again.
Yes, it was listed. German U-boat torpedoes.
Did the Germans also paint those faces with the sharp teeth on the front of their torpedoes?
That would make sense
Wait,
then,
real
because the
quick.
manager's last words to Charles Berduda were, "What are you afraid of, Charlie? The Germans?"
The Germans?
Zidja.
Real
Tommy,
quick.
before the Germans get here.
Andy, you're telling me that why did you steal a jar of orca semen to begin with?
Oh,
And then why
boy.
did you give it back?
I don't think you're getting the joke.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a joke? I gotta read the,
Yes.
the comment now.
Here you go.
I
Now,
once stole a jar of orca semen from my marine biologist friends. Years later, I returned the jar. He said, "Thanks, but what is this?" I said, "Your whale cum."
Oh,
You're
fuck
welcome.
off, Andy. Banned. Banned.
I
If
didn't
I
even
knew,
know
if I knew how to
that
ban
one.
people,
I was
got it.
waiting for it to dawn on Mad.
I knew how to ban people.
I thought you were saying if I knew how to read.
If I only had a brain.
so the Coast Guard superintendent at the time referred to sharks as timid as rabbits, claiming he swam with them in Cape May and could scare them off by just throwing clams.
Why?
So
Why are you
so
throwing
they were-
clams at?
So the authorities were clearly not inclined to think it was the sharks. Luckily, motorboat patrols of average citizens armed with rifles, harpoons, and axes
Looking for their sea turtles.
And axes.
making sure that their boats all had loud exhausts intended to deter sharks. More mesh wire nets were installed in enclosed swimming areas, but now the resorts feared declining tourism as some swimmers were avoiding the water altogether. One
Why?
incident, to example, is involved a shark appearing off a dock in New York Bay, prompting a policeman to fire his revolver at the shark, briefly stunning it.
Oh, well, at least it worked for sharks, if not torpedoes.
That was a good
At
callback.
Asbury Park, a lifeguard captain hit a shark with an oar, and at Spring Lake, Ted Brown fired a rifle, noting the bullets skidded off the shark's back as it seemed more pleased than otherwise. Which
What?
I don't
What?
know.
The shark was into that shit.
It's like, joke's on you. I'm into it. Resorts advertised reinforced steel nets with one ad reading, "Come down and now laugh at the sharks."
Oh no, I don't care for powder in his fucking.
Oh.
Oh,
When does Roy
Did you add
Scheider
and
show?
make it creepy to the end of your prompt, Slender?
Yes.
It's like, how do we make Aquaman
No, I
look
said
more
I
like a
said make the
PDF?
shark look harmless.
This is- the prompt for Grok was PDF Aquaman. On July 12th, retired sea captain Thomas Cottrell spotted an 8-foot dark gray shape moving up Madeline Creek. He called the town barber, who was also the chief of police, but was dismissed as delusional,
Wait.
with the
Sorry.
other barbershop patrons mocking him.
so wait, he comes running in. He's like, "You guys, I saw a big shark. Sheriff, you got to come." And they're just like, "Ha, a shark." Anyways, let me get my high fade.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the adaptation of this story that involves Ice Cube as the barber / sheriff.
The barber sheriff. Are we there yet?
Luckily, Queen Latifah was nearby to help support his. No, I'm kidding. He was but the other barbershop patrons mocked him and dismissed him as delusional. So Cottrell took his motorboat to Main Street, running store to store to warn people, but was ignored. Later that morning, Johnson, Carton, and friends saw the shark in the creek, but were also disregarded.
Wait, isn't the creek now?
Yeah, that it's moving and it's moving inland.
He's just running down the street going, "The gray fellows are coming. The gray fellows are coming."
With rough skins.
Later on, 6 boys who were swimming nude in Madeline Creek saw a dorsal fin and that one of the boys, 12-year-old Lester Stillwell, was dragged underwater. The others, covered in mud, ran screaming into town. This is a lot like what's going to happen at Matt and Brahma's sleepover.
Shouldn't have had his worm out there.
Oh,
Workmen searched for Lester's remains, stretching nets and diving into the creek despite the shark's presence, with some believing that it wasn't a shark, but instead that he had had an epileptic attack.
what these leaps? Is he known to be an epilepist?
I mean, it just goes to prove that people, if they hear something that doesn't fit, they just they don't. They just
Are
don't
you
wanna
saying
believe
if it don't fit, they must have quit, punk?
I was doing everything I could not to say that. Actually,
See you, Andy.
Okay, I found a way to make the shark look less threatening.
Oh, he's smiling.
That was
Howdy,
the first step. This is step 2.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Turn the
I don't
shark
know.
into a puppet. That'll work.
All right.
I'm waiting for them to start blaming the alligators in New York City sewers.
So
I think my horoscope said something about alligators.
So people were suspicious of the allegation of the shark involvement because the creek was 16 miles inland, an unusual distance for any shark to come.
To be fair,
Away from the
I
ocean.
would be that's a little sus.
Yeah. So Stanley Fisher, a 24-year-old workman, was among those searching for Lester. The shark reappeared, biting the flesh from Fisher's right thigh, exposing the femur from hip to knee.
Ugh.
A doctor described an 18-inch jagged laceration with about 10 pounds of flesh removed.
How
and severing
big was
the
this dude that he had a 10-pound thigh? Well, I don't know how much a normal thigh would weigh, I guess.
with the femoral artery severed. Fisher reportedly said, "I found the boy on the bottom. I got Lester away from the shark. Anyhow, I did my duty before dying at 7:30 p.m."
Listen, no, I've been around dying people. They don't. This is not what happens. They don't. No. Ugh.
Again,
Well, to be fair, they dose him up with a lot of morphine back then. Remember,
again, it
his
sounds
whole
more
leg
like,
is
Who do
missing
you think
off
was
the bone.
carrying? You think they were carrying morphine on them?
Yeah, I feel like they would
Medical
just
staff?
have it on.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's like, hey, this
The
person
sheriff
is complaining
the barber.
this person's complaining of headaches. Give him the morphine. It'll
The
be
barber
fine.
is also the blood drawer, though, with leeches.
Yeah, they're 50
And they
years
used to
removed
do a
from
lot of the
bleeding
dentistry
people.
work, too.
It's been 16 years since they were like, maybe we should wash our hands.
True.
That sounds sus. I think it was epilepsy, not germs. What is this crazy idea about germs? That'd be like saying a shark is what bit the guy's leg off. Everybody knows it was. Everybody knows it was mackerel.
How the hell did the Germans shoot a torpedo this far up the creek?
He's like, look, I am a man of science, and I listen to the assistant curator of recent fishes at the American Museum of Natural History.
You guys have too much blood here. Have a cigarette to calm yourself. That's 100% what they did.
All right. So meanwhile, 14-year-old Joseph Dunn, swimming a quarter-mile downstream, was also attacked. With his calf bitten off. His friends pulled him from the shark's mouth, and Joseph described the feeling as
boy.
a tug like a big pair of scissors pulling at my leg and dragging me
Oh.
under.
Ugh.
Believing the shark nearly swallowed him, he survived, but withheld his New York City address to avoid his mother learning of the attack.
That's the most real thing you've said tonight in this story.
Yeah. Don't let
'Cause-
my mama know.
How many times have any of us like growing up got hurt and we're like, whatever you do, don't tell my mom. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
You're
like when you're out skinny dipping at night and the shark comes around, the shark comes out to play, and you're like, don't tell mom.
but the bone is sticking out of your skin. Don't tell my mom.
So here's the other thing that's actually very real. After these incidents, residents of Mattawan armed themselves with dynamite, shotguns, harpoons, and hammers, installed 15 nets in the creek with underwater dynamite blasts audible for miles.
I'll say this: it takes a lot to convince these fuckers at this time that this is happening. But once you convince them, they go all in.
They go
They get
full
the
bore.
pitchforks, they get the dynamite.
So congressional offices were flooded with
So they
letters.
installed these nets with underwater dynamite blasts for the vicious turtle attacks that were happening, right?
Holy mackerel over there.
This had nothing to do with sharks. Sharks are harmless, but the turtles are getting out of hand here.
So yeah, not every baby turtle is meant to bite the flesh off a human.
I guess they were. I guess they weren't turtly enough for the Turtle Club.
Oh, shut up.
Turtle.
Move yourself down.
No, well, I mean that's a deep cut reference, though.
It is.
really.
It is.
I don't
Too
even know that one even made it onto your channel. It doesn't. Is it? It's like the tree falling in a forest with no one around. If Mad makes a deep cut reference to a
No, that was Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey. He dressed
Yeah.
up like a turtle. to
I
go into
saw
the
that
Turtle
movie
Club?
in theaters.
I thought it was when
disappointed.
Slender and
No.
Shredder bonded over.
No, I know exactly
Yeah.
what he's talking about. I was there.
Yep. Move myself back up.
So
I guess.
media headlines were now screaming.
His jokes are always funnier when we explain them.
Tigers of the sea.
I like
Sharks
turtles.
seek prey off city beaches. Sharks not alone, scientists think.
Okay, that made it all worth it.
No, here's what's even better. Because there was a solution proposed to use cats as live bait, attributing sharks' presence to a hurricane or New York City's garbage. Another suggestion was constructing a raft with a dead
Sorry.
with a dead horse to lure sharks. One suggestion involved a boy-sized dummy stuffed with dynamite connected to an electric circuit. I mean, wasn't that the end of Jaws 2?
Oh, I thought it was the end of Deep Blue Sea.
And half of Caddyshack.
I mean, these all are pretty much ideas from Jaws on how they killed the shark in the Jaws. Another proposed deploying submarines with beef bait.
Beef bait.
They've gone from cats to a horse to
I
now
got it.
beef bait.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Well,
take
don't
spam.
forget the child dummy filled with dynamite.
We're gonna take spam, but we're gonna mold it into the shape of a boy because that seems what attracts this shark. His boys.
Well, now we have the return of Professor Nichols, you know,
He's back.
the assistant curator of
The
recent
shark
fishes.
denier.
To the regional manager.
At this point, he's gotten on board with it, though, suggesting that shark skins could actually be used for durable leather goods. So there's a market for killing them.
Sharkskin boots are on the table.
He was ahead of his time because sharkskin did start it.
That's such an American thing to immediately be like, how can I make money off of this tragedy?
Well, remember, Mad, this was also concurrent to when there was a suggestion to import hippos to the U.S.
Yeah.
for as a foodstuff, because that was also in the 19 teens.
You think we could have bottle fed sharks and like
A baby
swam
shark?
them on a
Do,
leash?
do.
Yeah. No.
I
Even I'm
thought-
not stooping that low.
So at Madeline Creek, men resorted to hanging lamb and beef from bridges, while a New York reporter decided to
In case the shark kept kosher.
decided to drag lamb-baited hooks for shark hunting expeditions. Wildwood, New Jersey offered $1,000 for a shark as resorts faced over 75% vacancy rates and $250,000 in canceled reservations.
Gee.
Hundreds of sharks were killed, with dynamite blasts and gunfire targeting anything resembling a fin. Some children were killed.
What?
It's okay. They just.
I thought it was one of the dummies, one of the spam dummies. I didn't know it was Billy.
Some profited by displaying dead sharks at fairs or hotels, claiming they were the Jersey murder shark. Eventually, Captain Cutter. Go ahead.
It's kind of like when Rube Waddell he had this epic game against what's his name, Cy Young, right? And he won. And there all these bars in the Philly area said that this was the game winning ball or whatever. but he just kept giving balls to every bar so he could get free drinks. So all these bars were like, I got the actual one. So now you have all these people with all these sharks. This is the New Jersey murder shark.
Yep.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's a sea turtle, brother.
Yep. Captain Cottrell, another person from earlier in our tale, caught a 7-foot, 230-pound shark by beating it with an iron. He displayed it as the terror of Madeline Creek for 10 cents a look.
Ooh, 10 cents a look. Well, that's a good name, though.
Another man displayed his shark carcass in a zinc-lined coffin, only charging a nickel.
Well, that can't be the real thing.
No, the real thing was probably caught, because as close as we can know definitively, on July 14th, when taxidermist and lion tamer Michael
That's a hell of a combo.
Sea lion tamer or just regular
Slissler-
lion tamer?
It just says lion tamer.
That's a
Slissler
hell of a combo.
caught a 7.5-foot, 325-pound great white shark near Madeline Creek.
What was it, like hiding in a bush? What do you mean next to the creek?
Near, as in the water, the body of water.
So it was in
The
the creek.
suspect is on foot.
The suspect is on fin.
The creek feeds into the
We
ocean.
believe he's hiding
It's
in
a
Central
tributary.
Park.
Anyway, so in the process of catching the great white, his boat nearly sank. He killed it with an oar, and upon examination, human remains were found inside the shark's stomach, an 11-inch shin bone and rib piece weighing 15 pounds.
To be fair, those could have just been pieces of some of the boys that got blown up by the dynamite.
Scientists did confirm the contents were human, and Slissler displayed
Are these the
shark.
same scientists that were like, oh, maybe it's sea turtles?
Yeah. Sisler displayed the shark in a Manhattan shop window,
Oh
drawing
my God!
over
Have
30,000
you looked
spectators.
over at X posts recently, Matt?
No.
There's something that was made by Release the McCracken.
Oh my God, I see it.
It's fantastic.
Are you talking about Mad as
Oh, I see
Actually, that's
it.
not bad.
No, it's not.
It's great.
I'm saving that one.
I mean, that's pretty good. You know,
Mad
I would-
shark stories have cold eyes, dull as eyes.
I'd say anytime somebody makes a meme about me, even if it's as a sandwich or in a baked, pot pie or something, I still save it.
Bush shark. Yeah. Hey, Sherry, this is how it's done. Not your nonsense that you send me.
Send him more nonsense.
Yeah. All right, so scientists did confirm that the contents of the stomach were in fact human remains. Yep. So he displayed the shark in a Manhattan shop window, drawing 30,000 spectators, and then proceeded to announce a tour traveling all the way to include the Far East. The attacks did cease after this, with one scientist suggesting prior attacks were unnoticed because sharks swallowed victims whole, referencing Jonah.
They just, I mean,
That's how we missed it.
Yeah, it wasn't all the claims that were ignored because of they were sea turtles. It was just playing with a dog.
I like how it's like, hold
I
on.
thought science took a nosedive in the last 10, 20 years, but I guess it's just kind of always sucked, huh?
yeah.
It has,
Did it?
because
Yeah.
let's look, like every instance, the shark was biting chunks out of the humans, including their legs and thighs.
No.
But clearly we missed it because even though every time we've seen it now, it's biting them, they swallowed them whole previously.
Yeah, it's who funds the science. The rich people said the
Hey,
sharks weren't bad, right?
I got a $5 tip from the coefficient.
Commissioner.
I would have been here sooner, but on my way here, I blew a seal. I hope he didn't give me the clap. Well done.
Kudos.
Oh,
Nature is hell.
The coefficient.
So
Well, at least
Joseph-
it wasn't an O-ring.
Joseph Dunn was
fucking
released from the
excellent.
hospital on September 5th, 1916, and the last fatal shark attack in New Jersey was reported in 1926, with fewer than 10 attacks happening since 1960. Peter Benchley, author of Jaws, cited the 1916 attacks as inspiration for his novel.
Well, yeah, because no one had even thought of a shark eating someone until until the 27 kids were either blown up by dynamite or eaten.
Yeah. In 2016, shark sightings were reported, but experts downplayed concerns, though a juvenile great white was spotted and swimmers were briefly ordered out of the water. A descendant of Lester Stillwell's family noted that daring boys were warned they'd end up in trouble like Uncle Lester if they didn't get out of the water.
Who the fuck is Uncle Lester?
Lester Stillwell, the kid who got attacked.
Okay.
There was a
Became
lot
a
of kids that got
boogeyman.
attacked.
Yeah.
So that's
that-
like the Finians will come for you if you don't go to bed, like what
Yeah.
the Canadians did. I love that those are always what we take away from these terrible stories is new ways to scare kids into behaving.
I mean, if you've got the assistant curator of new fishes from the American Museum of Natural History telling you that this has never happened before, it's got to be some kind of nightmare shark.
He had to have had a double-sided business card, right? For that title.
It's in bone and with raised embossed lettering. He's gonna sound
So the new fish, what was it?
the assistant
Oh,
curator.
the assistant
of
curator,
new
yeah.
fishes.
Of new fish, and then you flip it over
It's like
at the historical museum of arts and science or whatever the fuck.
American Museum
That
of
one,
Natural
whatever.
History. You know, the
They said-
museum from
For
Night at the
kid
Museum.
warnings with dynamite.
It's like this should only be used to scare your great white sharks away. It's not a toy.
Now here's some lawn darts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that we did eventually get Batman's shark repellent spray because that dynamite was having some unfortunate side effects.
Look, man, it happens. What were those kids doing swimming next to the dynamite?
What were they wearing that attracted the shark to them like that?
True.
I
One
like-
was in a red canoe.
Well, that first group of kids was wearing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't wear bathing suits like whatsoever at this point. Oh, we
Yeah.
should go over the history of swimming pools.
Yeah, well, in bathing suits, because I mean, the adults were apparently having like ankle length skirts, but kids were just off free willy nilly.
All right, I would do a poll, but I don't know how to do it. So, if who for the next time we do this, do you want to do Action Park? Is another New Jersey tale, or we could do the dark history of swimming pools, firefighters. So just let us know in the chat. If not, I will probably decide day of.
What are the thoughts
As
of
you
the
do.
assistant curator of new fishes on which story we should cover?
We know you can work a poll. No, I said I don't know how to put a poll in the thing. Yeah, I can work a poll.
Brahma, does he know how to put a pole in a thing?
Nope, he just watches people get penetrated.
No, Mad likes to watch.
He's got his chair in the corner.
with a case of baby
That's
oil next
Mad
to
in
him.
the corner.
It's mad in the spotlight.
no.
All right. Thoughts, anybody?
Yeah, that's a rim shot for you.
Thoughts? We're doing thoughts now?
Yeah, let's do thoughts.
Oh, we have thoughts.
Yeah, we get 7 minutes.
Sweet.
I wonder if any German U-boats were blown up with the dynamite, and that's why
Oh.
we were never actually attacked.
No, do you think that it was like, oh, these damn
These
U-boats
Americans are
blowing off?
crazy.
No, like that's why we like got involved in the war is because we thought German U-boats were blowing off calves of kids
I mean, it
off
wasn't
the
the sharks.
coast of New Jersey.
That could be, or maybe when they dropped all those charges and they blew up, they didn't hit a shark, but they hit a U-boat, just kind of like the Willie D might have.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. How many of them were accidentally blown up?
I hear you.
All right. Well, thanks for all that, guys.
I
I
said
guess go ahead and end it. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks to the co-fissioner for the $5 tip. Sorry about getting the clap. Penicillin should help.
It always helps.
You should put the phone number in the email backup before. We
Oh
go.
yeah, guys, remember, if you want to be a part of it, but in a mature, like respectful and nice way, you can email us. Questions, comments, concerns, corrections. If you got Q's, we got AIDS, you know. You can do it at madchismo@gmail.com, or you can call and leave a voicemail at 726-610-5357. 726-610-5357. I would love to hear from the co-fissioner for next time.
I don't know what kind of voice a co-fissioner would have, but I would imagine
It kind of sound like this.
It
Raggedy,
would be
raggedy.
like
Well,
almost like
I would-
Boss
I-
Hog style.
I would love to hear voicemails of people who they don't think they know who it is, because obviously they're just wildly guessing.
Punk, you didn't even bother trying to do it. You didn't even go with like the southern accent this time like you normally do.
I don't know what you're talking
What are you
about.
talking about? I still don't. I'm not understanding why you're so upset, Matt.
I'm not upset.
You got a call from a total stranger, somebody who
Yeah.
watches the show and is clearly a fan.
Now, how about this? Does anybody even remember what the point of that voicemail was?
No, not even a little.
I think MADePAP and hot flashes.
I mean, Imp's not even talking, bro.
Imp knows the easiest way to not finish last is to just keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't like that
pretty
either.
much. Sometimes the best action is inaction.
I would
Okay.
say when good men do nothing, but I don't know if that applies to.
Guy,
all of
guy,
it.
look at where you're at. Stand your ground. Anybody got anything they want to promote or anything else?
Yeah, just
Nope,
letting
I'm going on
everybody-
vacation.
Letting
Oh,
everybody
nice. Where
know
you
that
heading?
we're- Oh,
Yeah, Fort Worth.
Cool.
So he's going to be gone for like 2 years.
10 days.
YouTube time.
That's like 2 years in mad time.
Oh,
Remember when Chad
save it
took
for
a
the
week and a
email.
half?
By the way, the U-boat theory wasn't that a U-boat killed these people, but that sharks in the Atlantic had been driven into frenzies by U-boats. Boated attacks elsewhere, and were looking for flesh.
What's with all these corrections?
Oh boy.
Yeah, all these naval.
I got yelled at for
water-based
making corrections like that
Yeah.
last week.
and that was after they had told you to do it.
Yeah, I know, right?
A double dog dare you.
Yeah, look, we're not asking for what we want. We're asking for what we need.
You said you needed corrections during the show.
I think we said I wanted.
No, it was clear that you wanted the truth, but you couldn't handle the truth.
You need Slender on that wall. You want Slender on
I'm
that
ending it.
wall.
I'm not. You
You're
guys can
goddamn right I did.
you can put a comment on if you want to promote something.
Machiavelli production.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy? Yeah. Yeah, that's real good, Law Dog, because law just don't go around here.
They keep on calling me, want me to put it down. Oh, baby, run to me, don't go from smile to frown. Hey, law dog, law don't go around here. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all.
I want you to know it's over.